Hey, Pat Rigsby here, and in this episode, I'm going to talk with you about what I call the 4 marketing milestones. If you want to generate more new clients and really be more effective with everything that you do when it comes to marketing, you're going to want to listen into this episode. Let's get to it. In this episode, I want to talk with you about the 4 marketing milestones. See, the way that I think about marketing is that it's really this journey that a prospect goes through until they become a client, or really that a person goes through until they become a client. So let me take you through the way that I view this. It's kind of a different lens, but it's something that dates back to the time when I was a college baseball coach and how I approached recruiting players. So the milestones are really just benchmarks along the journey that a person goes through when they're considering hiring us for our services and ultimately becoming a client. Now, the first milestone is awareness. Somebody has to become aware of you before they can do anything else, right? So there are plenty of prospects out there that would probably benefit from your services in so many ways, but right now, they're invisible to you and you're invisible to them. Now, for us to even dream of doing business together, we have to become aware of one another. And so that's this first milestone. Now, in the online world, that may mean somebody seeing a Facebook Live that you did, or seeing a post or an article or a video you have on YouTube, but they need to become aware of who you are and probably at least some foundational understanding of what you do. Now, for me, even dating back to my time as a college baseball coach, the awareness factor, I would go and ask my client, I would ask my players if they had any friends that might be a good prospect. I would ask high school coaches throughout the region. I would ask junior college coaches. I would go to tournaments, and I would try to become aware of people who would potentially be a good fit for my program. And so, this kind of mentality, it's not new. It's something that I've kind of just identified and put a box around to understand this initial stage. I mean, so much when we think of advertising and when we think of social media, we think in terms of just trying to get the sale. But the first thing that has to happen is this initial marketing milestone. We have to create awareness. So we have to be where our prospects potentially are. So if you think about your ideal person, the ideal client that you serve, and the target market that they belong to, where is that person? Where do they go online? Where do they spend their time offline? Where do they live? Where do they shop? Where do they work? What are their interests? Because we want to be seen in those places. We want to make sure that the content that we're putting out is visible in the places that our people are most likely to see it. So that's marketing milestone number 1. Marketing milestone number 2 is what I call the lead stage. And the lead stage is when somebody expresses at least enough interest that they give you permission to follow up. Now, back when I was a college coach, that would mean me sending this person that I've become aware of a letter that had a form where they could basically fill out a prospect profile. And if they sent this back, they were kind of raising their hand and saying, look, I'm giving you permission to follow up with me. I'm at least interested in hearing more. In the online world, that's a landing page. That's a squeeze page. If you have a lead magnet, if somebody gives you their contact information, well, now they've become a lead. They've become somebody who is, they're willing to hear what you have to say. They're giving you permission to follow up. And so when people talk about permission-based email marketing, that's what they mean. They're saying, here's my contact information. You have permission to follow up with me. And then that's when we want to nurture that relationship. That's when we want to win over kind of their heart and their mind, so to speak, right? We want to allow them to know us better, not just know us as people, obviously, but know how we can solve their problems and help them achieve their goals. We want them to like us. We want them to feel like, hey, this is a person that I trust, that I can connect with, that I'm going to enjoy doing business with. Because given the choice between alternatives, people are going to choose to do business with people that they like. And then finally, and I just touched on it, I mean, there has to be trust. They have to truly believe that you can and will help them solve whatever problem or achieve whatever result that they're seeking. So that's where we have those leads, those permission-based people to follow up with. Now, we go from awareness to lead to the third milestone, and this is what I call a prospect. Now, a lot of people see leads and prospects as interchangeable. For me, it was just a way to kind of quantify stages along this journey. And a prospect is somebody who said, okay, I'm going to engage with you. I'm going to make this a two-way conversation. Instead of you just sending me information, I'm going to engage. And maybe that's, for me, back as a college baseball coach, coming for a campus visit. Maybe for you, it's doing a success session or a free trial. Maybe it's even just replying to an offer that you send out. But basically, they're saying, look, I'm interested in having a two-way dialogue with you to see if this is a fit for me to actually become a paying client. So moving somebody from the lead to prospect stage, it's a process. So many people, they see this as an immediate gratification thing, and they write off this lead if they don't move to the prospect stage immediately. But that's just not the way that most people shop. That's not the way that most people make decisions or commitments. Most people need to kind of vet things. They need to look through things and do some research and decide if they're willing to invest not just the money, but the time and the effort and the energy, and sacrifice whatever they were going to spend that time, effort, and energy on otherwise. So making that move is something that is not instantaneous. So if somebody is a lead and they're allowing you, they're giving you permission to follow up continually, that doesn't make them a tire kicker. It just means they're not ready right now. And there's, as my friend and mentor Dean Jackson would say, there are really two times. There's now and not right now when it comes to marketing. So somebody may be ready tomorrow, but if they're not ready right now today, that doesn't mean that they're all of a sudden, never going to become a prospect, never going to become a client. So it's important that we understand that and embrace it. So we have awareness, we have lead, and now we have this interactive dialogue, this opportunity to really connect in a two-way conversation to better understand this prospect, what they want, what they believe is holding them back, and really whether or not we're the right fit to help. Whether our services are a good fit, whether the pricing's a good fit, the schedule might or might not be a good fit. So we need to use that to sort through and make sure we're a good fit, because then that fourth stage is somebody becoming a client. And that's this kind of, the marketing milestones. When somebody becomes a client, that sets off a new journey, right? That may be the end of this initial journey, this marketing journey. But when somebody becomes a client, now this sets off this new journey where they're a partner. There's somebody that we are partnering with to help guide them from where they are to where they aspire to be. So it's really an entirely new relationship that this is the first domino set in motion. So when you're thinking about going out and marketing, and if you're thinking about spending money on advertising, you're spending time on organic marketing, keep these 4 marketing milestones in mind. Keep these in the back of your mind and say, okay, my job is to go out and create some awareness with this video. That's my goal. Like when I'm posting a video online, That's probably the primary goal. I want to create awareness. And so I shouldn't be disappointed or discouraged if that one video doesn't generate a lot of sales. If it creates some awareness where now I'm getting people to identify that they're in my target market and I'm creating opportunity for somebody to, have a chance to give me permission to follow up. So maybe we can send them to a landing page for a lead magnet. Maybe we have a way to gain permission to send them our email newsletter or get them on the phone or whatever else. But that's the objective there. Whereas if I'm sitting down with somebody in a sales consultation, a success session, if I have somebody who comes in for a trial, now the objective there at that milestone, when we're talking about a true prospect, is to get them to become a client. So this is a step-by-step process that they're not all commingled. They're not all achieved at the same time. And if you see it that way and you're moving somebody from milestone to milestone, then it becomes so much simpler to tighten up what you're doing at each stage of this process and become not only more effective with your marketing, but much happier with your results. So 4 marketing milestones, they've certainly served me for my entire professional life, and I think they'll serve you as well. Thanks for watching. If you click the first link in either the description or the link in the pinned comment, you can get my latest book, The Ideal Business Formula, for free. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you have any questions or comments or video requests, leave me a comment below and I'll be quick to respond. And lastly, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm posting videos weekly now, and if you turn your notification bell on, you'll be sure to get them all.